heart of a dense forest stood an ancient village that had been abandoned for centuries. The village was nestled in a clearing, and its houses were made of old wooden planks and thatched roofs. The village was shrouded in an eerie mist that gave the impression of something sinister lurking within. Few people knew of the village's existence, and those who did spoke of it in hushed tones. The villagers were rumored to have practiced dark magic, and their descendants were cursed to roam the forest as ghosts. They were said to have been brutally slaughtered by a group of outsiders who had stumbled upon the village while hunting. One night, a group of curious teenagers decided to explore the abandoned village. They were drawn to its mysteries, and the promise of adventure beckoned them. They ventured deep into the forest, guided only by the moonlight, until they reached the clearing where the village stood. The village was silent and still, and the teenagers felt a sense of unease as they stepped into its ancient streets. The houses were empty, and the silence was deafening. They explored the village for hours, finding nothing but old, rusted tools and broken pottery. As the night wore on, the teenagers grew tired, and they decided to make their way back to their campsite. However, as they turned to leave, they heard a faint whisper in the distance. They paused, listening closely, but the whispering grew louder, and they realized it was coming from one of the houses. Curiosity getting the better of them, they cautiously approached the house, and the whispers grew louder still. They pushed open the creaky door, and what they saw made their blood run cold. The room was lit by flickering candles, casting eerie shadows on the walls. In the center of the room was a circle of salt, and within it, a group of villagers stood chanting in a language the teenagers couldn't understand. The teenagers were paralyzed with fear, unable to move or speak. The villagers continued their chanting, seemingly unaware of their presence. Suddenly, one of the villagers turned and locked eyes with the teenagers, and they knew that they had been discovered. Without warning, the villagers attacked. They moved with incredible speed and agility, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. The teenagers fought back, but their weapons were useless against the villagers' supernatural strength. One by one, the teenagers fell, their screams echoing through the empty streets. The last one standing, a girl named Emily, was cornered by the villagers. She knew there was no escape, and she braced herself for the end. But just as the villagers were about to strike, a bolt of lightning struck the village, illuminating it with an eerie blue light. The villagers screamed in agony, their bodies disintegrating into nothingness. Emily looked up to see a figure standing before her, wreathed in blue flames. The figure spoke to her in a language she didn't understand, but she knew it was ancient and powerful. The figure told her that the village had been cursed by an evil entity, and that its power had been broken by the lightning strike. Emily stumbled out of the village, shaken and traumatized. She never forgot what she had seen that night, and she never returned to the forest again. But she knew that the ancient village would continue to haunt her nightmares for years to come.